Hello and welcome to Rule the Waves 3, playing as France starting 1890 on super large mech size. We are now in January 1900, so it's a brave new century. So we are going to start by having a look at what we have spent the last 10 years doing, and if we are in a better position in terms of fleet and I guess socio-economic position or whatever. How is our economy? How is our strategic position? Are we better off having started in 1890 and having played through 10 years and 2 wars, or would it have been just as efficient to just start in 1900? That's what we'll find out today. Yeah, remember to zoom out. Good work. Yeah, so let's quickly review our starting position. When we started out in 1890, we had a budget of slightly of 208,500 monies per year, which translated to, let me check my notes, 17,380 per month. So we are definitely up. But it's been 10 years, so it's not surprising that this has increased somewhat. If I take a look at our starting budget in 1900, if you just start up the game, that's 249 and change. So we are just above that. So we have, and that's including 10 plus 4, 14 points of war reparations, so quite a bit. So I suspect that our budget modifier is lower than the one you get by default if you start in 1900. So our economy is slightly stronger, and will also sort of grow from that stronger basis, so that's good. But the difference between an 1890 start and a decent first decade and the default start, it's not very good. Not very big. It's good. In terms of dock size, we have gone up. We started with 15, and we have been building docks for quite a bit, so we are up to 23,000 now. So that's 8,000 up, 50% increase. And by comparison, if you just start default France in 1900, you have, let me check, 16,000. So we are way ahead of that. And of course, prestige is not 20 as it would be at the start of any era. It's 41 because of 2 wars and some events. So all in all, I think we are ahead or equal in terms of economy. It's equal in terms of budget. We're here above a few hundred, 500 almost, 400 more per month. But I think if I bothered to go and sort of check in the save files, I think our base resources is going to be slightly higher. Most likely, but the budget modifier is probably 1 point lower, something like that. Our funds is also better. You just start with a few thousand funds in 1900, and you also started with that in 1890. So we have a healthy little savings account. It's not super big, but it's not completely scraped. It was 50, almost 60,000 for a while, but we've been building more ships. In terms of maintenance, we can sort of compare with, it's actually, well, base, it's about the same, I would say. I think we have slightly more ships because the base maintenance for ships in 1900 start is around 6,000, but that's without mothballing and reserving. So it looks like we actually have a somewhat bigger fleet than we otherwise would have. I think if I mothball and reserve everything in the base lineup, then that yeah, that definitely will. It's to our advantage, I would say. We have more and somewhat better battleships. And we have definitely more and better heavy cruisers, and we have more and definitely better light cruisers. So our building program of the 1890s have created a larger and qualitatively much better fleet than you can have with a normal 1900 start. If I did a build legacy fleet start, I could of course create some ships that are a lot stronger overall, but I don't think I would have had nearly as many as I have starting in 1890 and building. So our fleet is in a strong position, relatively speaking, compared to a default 1900s start. But we have been active. We have had some years with pretty good budget, I would say, both before the Italian War and eventually also once we got going before the German War. We had almost 4 years of peace. We grew pretty well then. In terms of colonies or areas, I would say France has exactly the same starting position in 1890 as in 1900, so there is nothing there. But we did, of course, grab now Norway from Germany, so it's now our possession. We could have taken more, but we opted to take the last 4 points as war reparations. And of course, we took 10 points in war reparations from Italy instead of Sardinia and maybe even Eritrea. Because we don't want, there is Sardinia, that's Sicily. We don't want to annoy, it's one of, Sardinia is one of the annoyance areas for Italy, so we don't want to, I don't want to nag them too much. Great Britain is of course not happy with us owning Norway. We haven't had any event to that effect, but it will come. Yeah. So economy comparable, but I think long term slightly stronger. Fleet larger and definitely stronger qualitatively speaking than you can get with a 1900 start. More prestige, of course. Way bigger docks. Norway, which is a great base for operating in the North Sea. And it is also great for basing planes here. If we eventually get into more shooting wars with Germany and even Great Britain could happen. Tension is of course completely different. Normally when you start a game it's sort of in this region. We have just finished a war a few months ago, so tensions are overall low, but Great Britain didn't drop so low. That was somewhat surprising. That's interesting. We also now start knowing the ability of quite a few of our officers. That is useful. Some are incompetent, some are even brilliant. We have some brilliant captains here. We even have a brilliant. We had the brilliant commander in Northern Europe. He seems to have been probably just auto-clicked, so they put in an average guy. That was somewhat disappointing. We have, of course, we have several that they could have reassigned. This one from Northeast Asia, but whatever. It's what it is. So that is, I would say, an advantage over the base 1900 start. And again, you start with all these unknowns, I think. Yeah, maybe you know a few. I don't think so. Yeah. In terms of research, I haven't sort of done the numbers here, but I would say that for some of the categories we are slightly behind, and but that is mostly because we are playing on 80% tech, which seems to hit pretty hard, and slight variation seems to hit pretty hard at start. It feels really there are only like 2 or 3 techs in each category when you start with an 8 between 1890 and 1900, but I haven't gotten all of them. No, but we do have some of the more important ones. We have crop armor finally, so armor is starting to be what it actually promises to be. I think crop armor is doesn't have any negative multipliers at least. No, but you can see for destroyers, we're still waiting for 400-ton destroyers. Yeah. Last research, 8-inch guns. Is that true? Yeah, we probably had some -18. Oh, that's a long time ago. I don't remember. It's not important. So we are not ahead in techs, but neither that that applies across the board. I mean, we are the only advanced here. If you start in 1900, everyone has the same starting techs. So maybe we would have a tech or two more, but we would actually be less well positioned. I'm not sure how much the others are spending on techs, but also keep in mind that the number of research techs is very small now, so just getting one tech or even or 2 techs that could really skew these numbers, and they are not an exact science because we don't have perfect intelligence on everyone. But overall, on this front page here, this start screen, I would say that we are at least equal or well ahead of where we would have been if we had started in 1900. And even if some of the battles are rather tedious because you have to get within 2000 yards and you have to pummel them with like 1 million low caliber shots and they keep turning and turning and turning and turning. Lots of manual control and AI wonkiness. I would say that it was worth it. I actually had more fun playing this 1890s than I usually do. Normally it's just a hassle and I skip it and go straight start at 1900. Maybe because I'm recording it and sort of taking my time and thinking things through, sharing my thoughts and hopes and feelings and stuff. Maybe that made it more fun. I don't know. But the events, everything sort of worked out, and both wars were against not insignificant opponents, but I mean, I had an advantage both in the Italy fight. They were strong, but not as strong as me, and the Germans didn't want to fight that first war, but they did want to fight the second war when they were quite a bit stronger, but again, not quite as strong as me. So, yeah, I'm pretty happy with our current position. We have lost some ships, of course. If we look at the sinking, I decided to break up this sort of nothing burger of a ship. It had nothing to offer, some 8-inch and some 3-inch, no, some 5 and 3-inch guns, nothing special. It just had 21 knot speed, and we got those foxes with 22 knots. And this I just broke up. This was sister ship to my 8 starting heavy cruiser. That was weird. I got so many light cruiser types, but only one type of heavy cruiser. But this one was like 16 months from completion, so I just scrapped it. I felt that 8 of that class. That was enough, and I wanted to free up budget to build my own designs. I think that was a very good decision. And then we broke up this Safran, and it was not a bad dreadnought. It was just that I didn't feel like having yet another class of dreadnought. Actually, this is probably the best of my starting dreadnought, but I had to spend like a year and a half almost to finish it. So again, I would rather start on some good cruisers instead of building yet another obsolescent-ish. Of the chips I scrapped, I could maybe have kept this, but again, then I would have felt that I needed to build a second one to sort of fill out my roster, and then I would have gotten less heavy cruisers, and yeah, I think it was the right call overall. But this was the only good ship that I scrapped. Well, this is a good ship, but I didn't need 9. 8 was enough. This one, then I have lost 2. One was one just burned down because I wasn't paying attention. Yeah. Or did it sink? Ship history. Can I read what happened to it? Sinking gunfire. Okay, yeah. That was lost against the Italians early in 1892. This one lasted until that first Battle of Biscay when I wasn't paying attention, and it probably ran around at max speed with fire blazing. This one died to, oh my god, look at it, 7 stars. That's quite something actually. 7 stars, 7 battle stars. This died to a random event. It got sunk by a raider. I can't bring myself to fight those raider battles because they are always inconclusive. So the roll of the dice. Yeah. So those are the only ships that I have lost. 3 to battle, 3 to scrapping. But I have built since the game started my own designs start with a prefix. So I have built 26 capital ships since we started. And these include a total of 6 battleships with crappy -2 quality 11-inch guns. Because, right, why not? But the main armament 8 and casemated 6-inch guns. A lot of 6-inch guns. And I have 2 more coming. And in addition, I have built no less than 12 heavy cruisers of different types. I have this duplex. This, I think, pretty decent. That was the first one. This is a lot better, much better protection for the secondary turrets and more 16-inch guns. But this is where it gets really interesting. This is 7-inch secondaries, a lot of them, and even more armor on the turrets. So I'm very happy with this one. And of course, this is a variation. It has even more 7-inch guns and 1 more knot of speed and a 1/2-inch extra on the secondaries. We need that since they are 7-inch. Don't want those flash fire events. And I also built a total of 8 decent light cruisers. I think maybe I have I'm getting comments, too much armor, not enough firepower, but I feel that they are okay as far as firepower goes. Not the best maybe, but I have been enjoying the fact that they have hanged out fighting heavy cruisers, even battleships at point blank range, and they have taken a lot of hits, but maximum 1 round of repairs, maybe not even that, and they are back in action. So they have been, yeah, you can see this. This one also has 7 battle stars. 7 battle stars. And that's not bad for a ship that wasn't even in that war with Italy. This came out after. 7 battle stars. Yeah, only 2 battle stars. So these guys have really pulled over their weight. The critique here is that 4-inch on secondary turrets too much. I guess I can understand that because they don't get hit that often. Something to do with how the game calculates how ships are hit. But I'm not that deep into the minuta of the game's engine. I think they have worked well, and I was happy with the model. But if I build a new class of light cruiser, once we have a real rangefinder, I would probably want to go 764 in terms of caliber, or go back to having more 6-inch main battery guns to take advantage of the director. I haven't decided. We'll see. So all stats mostly good. Too high tension with Great Britain, but yeah, I think we have profited greatly, I would say, from playing that 1890s decade. We are stronger now than we would have been if we had started directly. I think, actually, I would say that I am stronger now than if I had started 1900 and built a legacy fleet, because the game treats those ships as, well, you get to build them according to your tastes and efficiently, but at the same time they count as old hull, so they tend to leak more. They get obsolete rather quickly anyway, so yeah. So I only have 6 ships building, so I need to get more battleships. I already built now these 4 cruisers plus 12 cruisers, so I don't need any more heavy cruisers now. I am considering updating my Sfaxes, giving them more guns, and I even consider turning these starting heavies into light cruisers. They're only 7,500. But we'll see. I can only do that if I have the money, and I'm sure it would be more efficient, but these ships they have a few good years in them still, but they are on their way out, so I don't want to invest too much into them, especially if we aren't going to fight any major wars. Famous last words, of course. Oh, look at these guys. They are now down to 14 knots. Yeah. Yeah. Anything else we should do? Yeah, we have built some fortifications as well. We wouldn't have had those. We hadn't played for 10 years. So all in all, we are in a good place relative to where we would, relative to our starting position and a sort of fictional starting position in 1900, even if we had decided to build a legacy fleet. Now, the final question that must be answered is, are we in a relatively better position compared to our, I wouldn't call them enemies. Germany is our enemy, but our peers, our competitors, well, the Italians are enemies too. And the Spanish, if I can provoke them into a fight. I have so many juicy colonies. Now, I don't want a lot of their colonies, but I mean, I would not object to, say, seizing Cuba, although that tends to annoy the US. Okay, no point talking about that. Okay, you can see I have diligently built up my fleet, but Russia, which has a similar starting position to me with a fairly large legacy fleet and a comparable economy, they have not been in any wars that I can remember, haven't lost, probably not scrapped a single ship. They are actually ahead in fleet, but closer examination shows that they are ahead only in battleships, and I bet many of those are obsolete or at best obsolescent battleship that have very dubious value. In a few years, those are targets only. It's a sort of free victory points, and eventually they will just be scrapped. All of these ships will be scrapped eventually, but so they have destroyers, but 300-ton destroyers not good. So I'm way ahead in light cruisers. I think I have the best light cruisers in the entire world. My heavy cruisers, 22 total, including those buildings. I am not ahead of Great Britain, but I'm way ahead of everyone else. Well, Italy has, oh my god, but they have nearly twice as many, so they are teeny tiny heavy cruisers. They are about the size of my light cruisers then. Just sad. Yeah, you can see Italy, they have no light cruisers. It's a mismatch here, a very bad mismatch. And the battleships got mostly sunk, so but they're building it up. So my battleship fleet isn't the strongest in the world. It's only the third strongest after Great Britain and Russia. So before we end this recap or status, I would just look at some of the enemy ship types, sort of what are they feeling. Germany, we have a very good ID. They have these battleships with two twin 8-inch guns and a bunch of either 6 or 7-inch secondaries, and these quick firing quality 1 3-inch guns that we actually stole from them. And they are building more. This one is 2006, but you can see that it's more of the same. They have decent speed and also decent armor, but they don't really have much firepower, and they have so few as well, so they are not a threat. They're heavy cruisers. These are the old heavy cruisers. They are, well, heavy cruisers with 8 and 7-inch main batteries and powerful 6-inch secondaries, and the ubiquitous 3-inch guns. They're pretty efficient. Not a lot of armor penetration though, and range is weak, so I prefer 4-inch if I can fit them. But anyway, but these new ones, they are just incrementally better. They are slightly faster. Another reason why I built mine to 21 of my last generation of cruiser. So 8-inch and lots of 6-inch and lots of 3-inch. These are not bad heavy cruisers, but they are smaller than my light cruisers, remember? But they have more guns. So, oh, but wait, they have less belt than my light cruisers. So you can see that there are some trade-offs there. 8,000, more of the same. Light cruiser department, that's just rubbish. They are slow, they are light. These are the best they can sort of offer. Some 3, 6, 8-inch guns. These are utter rubbish. This is the one that was completely crazed during that convoy attack I had. Remember that guy? He almost suicided into me, and for a moment, I thought he was going to kill every ship. But it worked out, and he escaped, and then he escaped again at Helgoland. So he's still around. Interesting. Yeah, and some destroyers. Austria-Hungary, it's very similar, I would say, except they have slightly smaller guns, so 10.52 instead of 6.3. And their cruisers are actually somewhat better than Germany's, I would say. They have the quality 1 gun as well, so 863, pretty standard really. But again, armor, my heavy cruisers have 5-6 inches of belt. They have 2-3 inches. It's just not enough. This is the era where you have to park next to the enemy and sort of pepper him for half an hour to an hour before you have any effect on his combat worthiness. But I guess they're getting there. I don't predict fighting them, so yeah. Let's jump over it. Great Britain for now. Italy kind of like their battleships. They are 17 knots, so they're not wasting tonnage on too much speed. And they have 8-inch, but they have a lots of 7 and 4-inch, so pretty good firepower for a 10,000 ton battleship of this period. And protection is also pretty decent. I think they are decent, but they are building more of the same. But nothing I can't handle. They have some cruisers there, 12-inch. That is a waste of tonnage. So probably 20 knots, unless they spent so much. No, they are 12,000, so they are definitely 20 knots. But you can see it's okay. This is an outlier with those 12-inch guns, but other than that, it's pretty standard. They don't have very many of the ultralights left. That they are either this type 6,000 tons, 7,000 tons, 753, 862. That reminds me of my own. But you can see armor is less, speed is comparable. No. Light cruisers. They have 29 knots. Okay, then it's short range, cramped, low freeboard, everything to fit a gun and 2 torpedoes. So just fast. And lots of these. They panic built some of them during the war with us. Oh, yeah, Japan is not interesting at all. The US is building some decent-ish battleships. They are not horrible, but they are a little bit slow, I would say. Great Britain, however, wait a second. Who needs a doorbell when you have a dog? Yeah. Let's look at Great Britain, the only naval power that can seriously challenge us at the moment. Kind of impressive looking, but those should be -3 guns. Even if they are -2, it's 14 knots, 5-inch, 2-inch. They're not real ships, I would say. These remind me of the German battleships, only slower, but probably better protected. This is starting to look like something, but again, these 2-inch guns, they have no penetration, no range, no damage. Again, pretty useless, I would say. This is the German style again. Completely hopeless. 1899. Okay, so the most modern battleship has 3 13-inch guns, 2 6-inch guns, and a bunch of 2-inch guns. This is just a floating brick. Completely useless. But there are very many of them, so I mean, I couldn't just charge 50 battleships. That's not doable. They have 44, 6 buildings, so 50, yeah. These are 15,000 tons. Okay, these are the least horrible. These seem more balanced and have 6-inch guns, but again, those 2-inch guns, not sure what these are. 18, 19, 20 knots for 7, 2, 9, 4, 8, and the ubiquitous 6-inch guns, plus some with only 6-inch. 632, 8,000 tons, 9,000. Oh, these guys, 19 knots. Decent armament. Very slow if that's true. My level of protection, so good protection. These are pretty good. Good. Good-ish. Kinda good. Not horrible. But again, there are so many that, yeah. Okay, the usual, no, newest. These are 1890. Yeah, 1899. Newest. These are fast, but no. Not too bad, but again, 2-inch guns. Quality 0, 3-inch guns. Not impressive. The quality is not impressive. The volume is very impressive. No quarrels there. So I think that's enough. Looking at other people's fleets or the AI's fleets. So yeah, situation good. Hoping it improves. Slightly behind normal on the tech, but that's just because we have 80% tech. So over the course of the next 10 years, I'm afraid we will have to continue building ships that will very soon become, if not outright obsolescent, because we will by 1910-ish be fielding the first dreadnoughts and battle cruisers. They won't be very good, but they will have 8 12-inch gun broadsides, and the battle cruisers will outrun any existing cruiser and will make mincemeat of them while being immune to their fire. And because they are faster, they can dictate engagement. And of course, the dreadnoughts will completely vaporize any existing battleship. So that's what's going to happen going forward. But I think that is enough talk, so it's time to start pushing forward. My plan is to do 1 year and then maybe end this episode because that will be long enough. I wish it said what units are lacking commanders. Nothing here. Type of ship. So this old, semi-old battleship is missing commander. Let's see if we can find someone with a known skill. Nah. So, yes. If you just leave it always on auto, then you never get to sort of put key people into key positions. So it's better to at least turn it off during some periods. Yeah. Are we building any fortifications? Yes, we are. Upraising in African country, colonial ambitions, blah 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 blah. This will just push tensions up very high, and I bet Great Britain will be pushed up very high. Should we? This gives me so very little. Yeah, we're sending a battleship. If Great Britain wants to fight. Great Britain did not want to fight. Okay, so it was worth it. That could have gone horribly wrong. We could have been up near the line, but instead Italy and Austria-Hungary got upset, and we are suddenly. I'm saving. You can't take it back, game. Suddenly we went from 15, 16, 1700 in minus to plus. So that's pretty good. I don't think I want to put any more ships into production right now. What is it now? Just a light cruiser, so yeah, go, go, go. Hawkish government, what is your reaction? Excellent. Well, this boosts budget, but also tension a lot. This one is budget and some tensions. That is manageable, I think. This is just sad. So we need more money. I think we can take some liberties because of the recent war that should push tensions down. But we have to be careful because we have Norway, and we also had one of those events where Great Britain resents us because we are claiming our place in the sun. Very rude of them, actually. No, it didn't actually move. Italy moved a little bit. If Italy wants a second war, I am very much welcoming that. Everything is in order here. I could create some additional colonial ships, but why not use my colonial cruisers for colonial duties? Very sad that you cannot convert into colonial old cruisers. You could have ripped out the interiors and made a nice lounge, refrigerating room, beer distillery, something like that. And you say distillery for beer? I think you can. Anyway, okay, we are running a nice surplus. So we could start building, but I think I just wanted to build up a little more. Could just start. Yes, this is the area we claimed. I mean, if we lose it at some point, that's not the end of it. This is not because I think we will be invaded. It's just because having even one fortification of any size gives an edge in terms of invasion and also rebellion. So you kind of want at least one 4-inch battery in every possession, I would say. It is not free, so you are, I mean, you're paying for it, but if you are going to maintain a colonial empire, then I think you should do it. New Caledonia is actually a nice spot. It has value 5. New Hebrides, not so great. And Polynesia, well, if you have a sort of a fantasy of hanging out on a Pacific beach with the natives, I'm sure. Yeah. So these 4-inch batteries, they are just 4, or in some cases 5. I think that is because we have a second one. Just randomly more expensive in some places, I guess. Yeah, 4 or 5. It's not a lot. That's 50, 60 per year, but you have already paid several 1,200 to build it. So it's not nothing, but I think it is worth the investment. Also, I like the symmetry of it. Okay. But key areas should definitely have 3 batteries. So this only has 1 battery. Might build more batteries later. Because there are some points here, 1 battery, 3 batteries, and then 5 batteries. Don't think you need more than that. What's it now? More light cruisers, okay. Yeah, let's extend our agreement. I have no quarrel with the US. Cadet crews, definitely send the oldest ship. That's free money. You pay 1 prestige to get more money. I mean, unless you're role-playing, I will only do prestige gains, then absolute. Above average, average, and below average. Okay. So now we have, even with those fortifications building, we have a nice little surplus there. And if you take a quick look at my latest design here, yeah, but I don't really need even more cruisers. I know this is the age of the cruiser, but let's look at an alternative. Oh, let's do something here. Aha! A new wind zoom mode just for ships. Did I assign an additional later? No, Baron is my latest. Or did I do any? No, I haven't done anything after this one. So I could push up the weight, but I already feel that I am relatively competitive. I mean, I could do this. Then I would need more tonnage. Too many secondary guns. Party pooper. How many tons do I need to be? Okay, that's allowed. That's allowed. I had this crazy idea that I could have a centerline turret. Didn't like that. Look, it creates an artifact when you move that turret more than once. What? What kind of rubbish is this? This was just bollocks. Asymmetric. See if that helps. Yeah, that looks less rubbishy. Okay, yeah. So now we have 7, 8-inch on each broadside, just because we can. Okay, I don't have any better reason than that. You always have to improve your ships, make it bigger, make it faster, make it something. Can we improve armor? Bring that up to 11. Yeah, we can. So what ship is this? This is the Montagne Orient, the battleship Orient. I don't think that is a horrible battleship for the time period. I guess I could drop to 10-inch guns, but I don't want to. I researched these 11-inch guns. I want to use them. Okay. Yes, and I will then remember to zoom out. So, research underway, 2 months. Base hardening, okay, yeah. I think that's about correct because you have crop armor and then it's like 1902 for the next armor tech, and we have some tech variation, so that could be pushed further. So it could literally be beyond our ability at the moment. Should I put at least low on these guys? Maybe medium on Great Britain? No, it can wait. I don't think they have any techs I can steal anyway, so. June, Japan. Yeah, we are friends, so why are you spying on us? But if I can maybe get a budget increase out of it, I'm all for it. Doesn't always happen. No. No. Usually when there is a parenthesis there, if you are already having a relatively high budget modifier, nothing happens. But bullshit. Orient, it will of course be called Orient. These are almost done, so let's build another Orient. It will be called Montagne. There are 20,000 tons. I think that's bigger than other people's big ships. It's good, but we are well below our dock size limit. So we have options. But dock size is primarily for when we get to dreadnoughts. Above average. Tension increases. Yeah. Italians have crop armor. Could zoom. We have discussed this before, but I fear that I might forget all about it. This could sort of be our default image, and then I could do the save and the turn thing. But already here we have a so we have 4 points missing. Ships in reserve count. Yeah, okay, we have already fulfilled the requirement. Definitely fulfilled the requirement. Okay. Saving, but the problem now is that I immediately want to go to this list and no, we have one new battleship. For the time being, I will just keep it in this division and just have it at the bottom here. If we get into a shooting war, it will probably be moved up the line. And I think we had a heavy cruiser, 2 heavy cruisers. They go into this first. Oh, 9 commander. Cruiser reserve, yeah, sure. 9 new commander. A brilliant one, yeah. Ah, I knew I had a new ship, so a new heavy cruiser. I should not have let AI auto assign. My bad. It's not a big deal. Cruiser reserve. Assign new commander. Uh, the random guy. one more B coming out, then two more cruisers. But now we can just build a couple Orients. Fine. There. Assign commander. I don't like those disciplinarians. Always cause trouble. Yeah. And a lot of batteries finishing. Air International Navy, blah blah. Lessen tensions. Okay, but I am actually kind of comfortable with having not specifically Great Britain, but I want someone to be yellow. I'm not super afraid of Great Britain at this stage. I probably should be, but we yeah, now they are advanced and we are behind. We are not even average, so these tech level things shift pretty quickly at this stage. Yeah, yeah. This one goes into this division. I mean, these two battle divisions, they are way more powerful than anything the enemy can field. But it's just 10 ships, so they could not take on 30 ships. They would just get swamped. But a couple extra runs here, so in 3 years, 2+ years, then we will have even more battleships. Mm-hmm. And I feel I need 4 more on top of that. We'll see. I don't feel the need for any cruisers. Quite a few tons, but we can't actually reach. So what I could do is build a more shooty cruiser. This would still be a light cruiser. That is not a bad trade-off. Although I do think that the protection here is a little bit weak. But this could be a batch of 22 knot light cruisers that would trade a little bit of defense. Not actually a little bit, quite a bit, because the difference between a 3-inch and a 4-inch belt might seem small, but it could be that inch that determines whether or not the majority of 4 or 5-inch hits go through or not. I could make it up to 4, but as you remember, with 7 and 4, then you're not a light cruiser anymore. This is a considerable amount of firepower. Very tempting. I think we should at least design it. DL 1900 Isley. I think that's a worthwhile investment, and at the very least, we will have something to come back to. And now is the question of the success. What? I don't think I ever play anything on Epic. I have a bunch of game modes. Some of them I have actually bought, but most of them were like free games that I picked up. But I never play any of them, so yeah. Okay, as no re. Oh, didn't I make a rebuild for this? Pretty sure I did. Or maybe we just talked about it. Yeah, okay, probably that. So, what we were discussing was getting rid of all these little turrets, instead installing a bunch of not casemates, but real guns, taking them down here, adding a couple of extra torpedoes. Vaguely recall something like that. Looked ugly. Take them off again. Swivel mount. Ooh. Okay, that's why it couldn't auto place. Okay, yeah, yeah. So that's an option. Turrets are very poorly protected, of course, and there is no armor on the secondaries or anything, but that's quite a bit of firepower for a ship of this. I'm just putting them in casemates so I don't have to feel that I need to provide graphics for them, okay? Pretty sure I created and saved one of these. Probably just a fever fantasy. Deck ventilator, let's move it forward a bit and mirror it, and then get rid of this ventilator. Yeah. Also move just a tiny bit. Mirror and I am 100% sure I did this and saved the. So this is just 3,000 over 3 months. So I can definitely do this. This would give, I feel, we already discussed the bulging thing and all of that, but I'm not touching bulging and I'm not touching the engine. So save and finish. Yes. Okay. So now we are rebuilding one fax. If we are rebuilding them one at a time, we will never finish this. So let's do this. It's fun rebuilding. We have some fun, fun, fun. Poor ship handler, but gunnery expert. We like gunnery expert. I mean, how can't do much wrong with a slow battleship anyway. Yeah. Morale and combat readiness. Yeah, that's cool. Fine. It's pretty wasted at the moment, but let's role play a little bit. I also wonder how much will it actually cost. I'm 54 in the negative. Central rangefinder, yes, that is important. No, seriously. Uh, I mean, the month after ah, yeah, but it's just two turrets. I'm not sure how important it is actually. But it is important for the rest of my ships. So we will have to refit everything because it's a pretty big deal. If you get some fire control and one or more extra text, that's gonna substantially affect our. So we have 1, 2 improvements. Remember, we started at -80 or something, and we can now have. So now we are probably at 60. Plus this one helps with fire control. So pretty big difference there. Let's push forward. But I don't want to build 300-ton destroyers. But if I say yes, I get budget. So I will of course say yes. You can see 1,400 a month. That's quite significant. Not now because I don't have any money. This fox is almost done. We can quickly look at the destroyer build. Auto generate. So 300. 4 torpedo tubes. -60 tons. Okay, yeah, good one. Machine. So that's two 2-inch guns I absolutely detest. Short range, normal ramp accommodation. It is. Speed, that's okay. I could delete the turret. Can have normal. No. I don't like cramped accommodation. It only leads to unrest and you will be sad later on. Okay, but this is not horrible if I have to build one. It actually has 2 torpedoes, but does it really need 2 torpedoes? It's not gonna hit anything with those torpedoes anyway. Let's see if maybe this is better. Maybe I'm the minority here, but I actually prefer my early destroyers to be more like what? Gun destroyers, because at present torpedoes are still pretty weak, and having 2 or 1 torpedo, it kind of doesn't matter too much. But this one can at least shoot at other. Not possible. Ramped. Eh, eh. I don't think ammunition would help. How much is normal? -8. 26 not destroyer. That's pretty sad. That's just sad. 16. I don't think I can even get the second mount. for a 25-knot destroyer. Yeah. Too many center lines. Okay. Oh. No, I can't bring myself to do it. No. Save turn. Loose cannon and timid. I don't understand how that is a combination, but whatever. New docks completed. Finished working up. Finished reconstruction. Heavy secondary battery. Okay. And we are in 1901, so it's time to wrap up this episode, but I want to take the opportunity to be very sad about this guy. Could have had the central rangefinder, he does not. But ultimately, this one only affects the front and rear turrets, so I don't think it's a big deal for us. So I am considering just doing this. Yeah, I'm doing this. I have a healthy surplus, so I am also doing this. We can take that. Yeah. Yeah. And I will have a think about that destroyer situation. We don't have to build those 20 destroyers, but we will suffer several points of prestige loss if we don't. And 4 months, and it takes 1 month to design the ship, so we have to decide pretty quickly. Anyway, thanks for watching me talk about the situation as per January 1900 and watch me play through that first year of the 20th century. Yeah. And for the next episode, unless there is a sudden war, I can see, oh, Great Britain has dropped below the yellow. So we ideally want to push unrest, no, sorry, tension up into the yellow with someone other than Britain. And maybe play for a few years. I don't think there is any immediate risk of war. That war against Germany only ended a couple of years ago, so there is that. Okay, thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.